The Fox and the Falling Leaves. Look, that's like our song. Look at all the forest. Oh, little fox, he's looking at talking to some birds. The world was changing. Each morning when Fletcher bounded out of the den, everything seemed a bit different. The rich green of the forest was turning into a dusty gold, and the soft swishing sounds of summer was fading to a crinkly whisper. Fletcher's favorite tree looked dull, dry, and brown. Fletcher was about to get worried. I think my tree is sick, said Fletcher. What's wrong with it? His mother asked. The leaves are turning brown, said Fletcher. Oh, don't worry, said his mom. It's only autumn. Fletcher ran back to his tree and patted the rough bark. Don't worry, it's only autumn, he said. You're going to feel better soon. But the tree didn't get better. Each day more leaves turned brown. One morning, the wind blew a small brown leaf off of the branch. Fletcher jumped up and caught it gently in his paw. See, there's that. Don't worry, tree. I've got your leaf. I'll fix you. Fletcher looked around and picked up a piece of grass and carefully tied the leaf to the branch. Then another gust of wind ruffled Fletcher's fur, and the little leaf shook free and fluttered back to the ground. Fletcher picked it up and thought very hard. He was thinking, and he poked the leaf onto a twig and pushed it down firmly. Now you hold on tight, said Fletcher. No more flying around. The little leaf gave a tiny rustle in reply. The next day, a strong wind was blowing through the forest. Fletcher rushed out of the den and ran all the way to his tree. Lots of branches were bare, and little lost leaves were everywhere. Don't worry, tree. I will catch them for you, I promise. Round and around whirled Fletcher after the falling leaves. Do you think he could catch all of those? I don't think so. Leaves! Wonderful! Just what I need for my nest, said a squirrel. But these belong to the tree, said Fletcher. Don't take them. The tree doesn't need them anymore, said the squirrel, bounding off. Help, help, the wind and the squirrel are stealing our leaves, cried Fletcher. Leaves, terrific, just what I need to keep warm, said the porcupine, rolling around. But these belong to the tree, said Fletcher, plucking leaves off the porcupine's needles. Not any more, snuffled Porcupine, and he rolled away. Help, help, the wind, the squirrel, and the porcupine are stealing our leaves, said Fletcher. Look at that, he looks funny with all them stuck. Suddenly, a flock of friendly birds swooped down from the sky. They picked up the leaves in their beaks and poked them into the tree's branches. Soon the tree was leafy again, and Fletcher flopped down and smiled. Thank you, birds, thank you, he gasped as the birds fluttered away. He lay looking up through the leaves at the sky, and he drifted off to sleep. You see him under the tree right there? But the wind continued to blow, and the branches still danced. The leaves shivered and shook themselves and began to wiggle free. They tossed and turned and twitched and twirled and tumbled to the ground. They brushed Fletcher's ears and nose and filled his dreams with a whispering sound. When Fletcher finally woke up, he could not believe his eyes. Instead of a roof of dancing leaves, all he could see were bare branches against the sky. Oh, tree, I am so sorry, gulped Fletcher. All your leaves are gone. But then he saw high in the branches a small leaf still hanging on. I won't let the wind steal that one, said Fletcher, and he began to climb. He crawled along to the last leaf and held on firmly to its branch. All day long the wind blew, the branch bounced, and Fletcher held tight. I will stay with you, Leaf, he said. Don't worry. But then, with a sudden whoosh of wind, the branch bounced high. With a the leaf let go and fluttered like a little checkered flag clutched in his paw. Oh no, look at that one. It's gone. Fletcher looked sadly at the leaf he had promised to save. He carried it carefully down the tree and back to the den. He made a cozy little bed for it and gently tucked it in, but all night long all he could think about was his tree. Look, see, he made a little bed for the leaf. At dawn, Fletcher tiptoed outside. The wind had finally stopped blowing and the air was cold. The moon still hung in the clear sky and the stars glimmered. As he came to his favorite tree, Fletcher saw a magical sight. The tree was hung with 1,000 icicles, shining silver in the early light. Do you know what an icicle is? It's when water freezes and it hangs on things. You are more beautiful than ever, whispered Fletcher, but are you all right? A tiny breeze shivered in the branches, making it sound like laughter, and in the light of the rising sun, the sparkling branches nodded. Fletcher gave his tree a hug, and then he went back to the den for some nice warm breakfast. The end.